Clicking the link, lean in, your grin, two mics, one vibe. All right, let's dive.
Hi, Nicole.
Hello.
Hello, Nicole.
I love your background. Oh my God.
Well, I have it kind of set up in a certain way. I should move this. It's actually like a blanket of saber sparkles. This is a character I played in the Clown Motel, Three Ways to Hell. Joe
That's
Kelly's
amazing.
actually doing a fourth feature film, but I don't know if I'm. Oh, let me fix that. There we go. Yeah, I gotta make sure it's fitting in the screen. I have
That
to.
looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I have some
Awesome.
special goodies before we record too. Like I will show.
Oh,
Oh,
Is this PG? Should I be careful? I don't know.
oh my God. I love that head.
Oh
yeah.
gosh, I got a couple of them with me. A couple headless people in this
Headless people. Let's see.
other one. This is my sons from Desert Fiends, the first one.
Oh
Oh,
So these are special effects, and I'd like to give shout out on the people you get to work with because it's a team as a whole. I think a lot of people just think it's all about them, and it's not. It's really
my, a
all
team.
different departments coming together. So yeah, I hope Noel G. He'll be like, "Oh, Nicole," I'm like, no. Because he was messaging us so damn early. I was like, he goes, well, it's late here. I'm like, well, it's only 6 in the morning here, buddy. The sun is just coming up. So yeah, hopefully he does. Let me
Yeah.
text him. I don't know if he wanted it through his email or not.
But we can always start when he pops in. We can always trim it in.
yes.
I love your shirt. Oh, is that Jen's? Oh my
So
goodness.
this is from my friend used to own a business, Melandra Boutique. So I always like supporting small business,
Oh
especially
my
here.
goodness.
Yes. I know it's
It's
cute.
really
Yeah, it's
cute.
like a
Oh,
fun,
Yeah.
fun. I can't do this normally, though, all this glitter and stuff. If
I
it was
love it.
it's too much,
It's
too
not too much.
in Vegas, it's actually like, I'm like dressed like a mom now.
It's
There's
glamorous.
they're very it's very unique out here in Las Vegas.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the introduction for us. We ready?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Rennert with my beautiful co host, Leanne Mywin Oos, and this is the Contagious podcast. And today we have the great honor of having Nicole Butler Vegas. How are you today, Nicole?
Thank you both for having me on your show. I'm doing really good. We are cooking out here in Las Vegas, though. The
Oh,
summer's here. You're out there for a couple of minutes, and I was just out there a little bit ago and sweating already, and it's dry heat. So if you're sweating in dry heat, you're cooking.
Yes, and I should also add, I know we have the beautiful co-host Leanne Mywin, and we also have the beautiful Nicole Butler Vegas,
Thank you.
absolutely as well. Yes.
I wasn't knowing where you were going with that. I'm like,
I was like, what?
okay. I like that we're able to put a spotlight on so many different areas in the showbiz. So thank you so much. And it's, like I was just saying before we started this show, I started 5 years ago. My very first set was a cleaning lady, was Taft-Hartley'd in, didn't know anything about showbiz. They paired me with this younger male, and I was like, it's like my son's age. I was like, Christine, what is happening here? I didn't know. It's just a different dynamic. And if we can ever connect people to the resources they need so they're able to make better choices for themselves and kind of understand the dynamics of showbiz, let's do it. I'm ready to dive into whatever areas you want to go into.
Okay. All right. So I
Well,
guess who's
yeah, we're gonna do questions about you for now until Noel G pops in, and then we can do the questions about Widow's Oath. So we can have the questions together with you both. How about that? That
Sounds
works
good.
for you? All right, Chris, go ahead.
okay? Uh, Nicole, in Chase Dudley's next film, A Widow's Oath, I see that you have the role of Queen Isabella. And as the Queen, I'm sure that's a very important role. I believe I've heard you talk earlier on Facebook about how the character is evil and villainous. So tell us more about your role in the film as Queen Isabella.
So I don't know her particular history and why she is what she is in the script. So I'll probably have to dive in with Chase Dudley for the history of her. If not, then I'll make up my own to understand the character role and the dynamic of she's very cold-hearted, very calculated. She actually gets enjoyment out of killing people, and she has no mercy, and she rules by fear, which nobody, from children to anything, nothing, by the example of making sure people stay in check. So if they don't, she will make examples. Hence why people don't defy her or cross her in any way. But she does cross a line with one person, and that's
Not a
where
good fate.
I meet my fate with this one person that was everything that I did and took from her. I was meant to crush her, but it didn't. It built her into a warrior. But Queen Isabel, I'm just letting you know that's a role that is not me. Some people get connected to a role and they're like, I can't believe, no, that's her. That is not Nicole Butler Vegas. So,
Yeah.
people get connected and they're like, I can't believe that you'd be that way. But I've been talking to Chase with it, with the shock effect, and with also so many people can be relatable, depending on, if you could understand from a sense of power or the sense of what I do to people when they don't have that power and position.
Yeah, well, that was another question I had, which is I can tell that you are obviously such a very nice and sweet person from all the videos I've seen on Facebook that you've put out. And so, is playing a villain, an evil character, a more difficult role for you?
So the ones I did, like say with Saber Sparkles, she's more sadistic, playful, and ruthless in that way. But uh, each role is different. I think Queen Isabella has many layers to her.
Hmm.
Some character roles are only one layered. Yeah, you see
Yeah.
what you get and that's it. But then there's other that's more diverse with the storytelling, and it really pulls people in with they could feel angry, they could feel disgusted. You want to be able to captivate your audience, and I like killing people. So
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, no, Noel G is letting me know that he's waiting. I just let you know, he texts me. He's like, I'm
Oh,
in. He's like, uh, but no, I think coming together, like, with Noel, I met him my first year in acting, and then we're finally getting to work together. Finally,
Oh,
he's like, man, when are we ever gonna get to work together? I was like,
how did you meet Noel?
I was on a set of the Mahal Brothers, Bermuda Island. It was 9 months into my showbiz, and we connected there. And he's been really solid with me, trying not that I listen though, because I'm very hard-headed. Nicole, I'm trying to tell you, I was like, and it's really hard to know who to trust in there. I'm like, I don't know you. I don't care if you have a name. I'm very like, no, no. But he's been solid. He calls, he texts on me. And I've had a lot of people in showbiz that are like, oh, you're meant for this. I was like, I don't know what I'm meant for. I
Oh,
get very overwhelmed and I'm like, I'm done with it all. I'm like, I'm done with you and you.
Noel's coming
And
in. Are
he's
you
coming.
ready? Here it is.
I'm ready. Where is he? I
He
don't
knew.
see you. Oh, I see you. There you are. Hi, Fred.
hi, Noel.
How you doing, bro? I had to figure this out. Sorry about that.
You made it.
You
I know, I
made
know. What's cracking? How you guys doing?
it. Good.
Good.
All
How are
right. How are
you?
you? Yeah.
Chilling. What's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah.
Ah, so my question for both of you, I'm sorry, I'm really excited about this. My question
How
for
do
both
I
of you is
put
like,
all of us on there? I'm sorry.
uh,
How do I put I'm trying to see all your guys.
uh, on the right side, there should be this box where it has like 9 boxes, I think, and you can click on gallery. It should bring all of us up. Oh, you just click this off.
You'll figure it out. You got it. A
He
pro.
he mute himself too. There you go. Do you see us?
Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Sorry about that. All right,
So
let's go.
my
My bad.
question is, you both play husband and wife, the king and queen, in the movie, Wit of the A Widow's Oath. And how are you guys like script reading with each other? Like, are you like calling each other to script read together or anything like that? Or like, have y'all read the script and do y'all like have any connection yet with it?
You want to go first, Nicole, or what?
I will go first, but
Ladies first. See what type of husband I am? Ladies first.
I did it just like ladies first in the haunted houses. I'll just play with you.
Exactly. She's with it.
So I read the script, but we didn't do any table reads, or we didn't talk in that way because he's revising it. When you're
Oh.
doing campaign, there's constant revisions because there's a lot of people that have the opportunity by role to be part of the film to help their also their roles in their showbiz life. So we haven't done that because he's going to constantly revise it. We'll do it when he's solid on it. 'Cause if not, it's a waste of time because sometimes our dialogue changes and we have to be able to know exactly what we're going into with that mindset and the character building. But I'm going to let you now. I'm passing it to you. There you go. Catch it. Got it.
Catch the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's exactly what she said, because sometimes you could over prepare and then it changes right then and there on set. So you got to be able to switch up. But until I see the script, which I haven't seen yet,
Oh.
like she said, I kind of don't even know what we're walking into.
Oh no.
So just as much as you're surprised right now, we're going to be surprised with you at the same time.
Okay.
So have
Well.
they mentioned that you might need to learn a new dialect or accent for it because it's medieval time?
I mean, I'm sure as we get closer, to the project, there's probably going to be some pre-rehearsals or things like that. And we might have to pick up a certain accent or whatever the case is. But, I like to figure that stuff out once I have a script in hand first. So I know what I have to prepare for, do, not do, things like that.
So I do have a question for you. I don't know how much time you have on here. So I'm gonna throw a couple questions at you real quick. So I noticed that the queen's name is revealed, but on IMDb, the king's name is not revealed yet. Will by any chance it be named Hector?
I am going to request that because I want to take this to the grave. I want to take it to the grave straight up. So I am going to request Hector, and Chase is a cool cat. I'm pretty sure he's going to go with it.
Well,
but yeah, it's just something that I want to keep that going. And I like the Energizer Bunny. I never want it to stop.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about that, Noel, is I did a little Google research before the show and found out that the name Hector was used during medieval times, and it was actually it's said to be a name that was
Troy.
popular with the
The good
royalty
excuse.
of the time. So
It's
it fits right
royalty.
in already.
See, I'm ahead of the game.
Yeah, you sure are.
You were born for royalty.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they had Hector and Troy, you know what I mean? So it ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new.
I was gonna ask what's your initial thoughts about when you read the scripts of Widow's Oath, but you haven't yet. But so far,
Right.
what has Chase told you about it that made you want to get into it? Both of you. This is for both of you.
Cool. I'm gonna throw it back to you now. It's your turn to catch it. Go ahead, take the floor.
Gosh, okay, I got it. Well, Chase has been wanting to work with me for the last 4 films.
I've heard.
I know, and he's like, oh, and I was already booked on something else, and that's the thing. You can't get double booked. How are you going to do it? You can't can't be at 2 places at the same time. And I'm glad that he got to cast Noel, and I just want to say thank you because I haven't worked with him. So for that to happen, it's not just him. It was Elizabeth Chamberlain, Zach Vasquez. There's a couple other people that I've worked with before in the capacity being in some scenes together. And I love the storyline. Actually, it was a very smooth read when you do read it. Because usually I'm not a reader. That's my problem in life. I don't read anything. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Very smooth, and the scenes are very intense. When the King Queen, maybe a little bit of a spoiler. Can I do a little? He'll be like, "You're done. You're fired." I'm like, "No, I was trying to pull the So there's a scene, and I push the king, my husband, to do something, my bidding. I'm very meticulous and very deliberate with the cruelty that I am, with the ruling, with the fear. And, he might not always agree with me on things, but I'm very persuasive in my ways, and we do something that we can't undo, and it really spirals for us when this situation happens in a scene. Is that good without spoiling it? Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was your fault, Nicole.
I
Guess,
don't know
man. I
about
mean,
that. Actually, it's the king's fault. The king
Oh,
Oh,
had the final say. I just whisperings a little in the ear. Yeah.
that's funny.
Oh boy, we're gonna be in trouble. That's all. We're in trouble. We don't feel like we're in trouble. We feel we're invincible. We're powerful. We have everybody, we have a whole kingdom. He has his kingdom, I have mine. We combine ours. And when I see he's different with the way he rules, but then with me, I am meticulous with ruling with fear, and I'm very twisted and maybe like a psychopath. But I've read there's something wrong with this queen, and she is so intense and cold-hearted and very calculated, and she actually enjoys it with the dialogue. I see the contempt, that's little smirk when some people are put to death, and it, like I said, she doesn't hold back on anybody, women and children, and breaking up, killing, just she destroys. She's a destroyer, and as long as she feels like she keeps her command and her rule of the fear, she will continue on with like shocking to the core of what she does. And I did talk to Chase with the one scene to intensify, which I'll talk to Noel behind the scenes. I can't say it here. Definitely be like, I gave you an NDA. I'm like, I know, but it was so good. So I have to be careful. Yeah, I'm gonna pass that back to
She's
yeah.
she's like killing it without killing it.
Yeah, am I killing it?
You're killing it without killing it. It's all
Okay,
good.
good. Whew, okay. It's tough.
so
I
you
know.
have read the whole script, Nicole?
I did, and but
Okay.
it's going to change because when you have the campaign, you have the opportunities to work with other people. We do have a perk together, Noel and I, with killing someone. So
I
you
saw
have the
that.
opportunity to be with us.
Yeah.
It's not just getting killed by us. They'll have some dialogue and everything, but I did, throw out to Chase, which is not in the script anyway. I said, I think in the medieval times they had torture chambers.
Oh,
Don't you?
yes.
They
Yeah,
pull
yeah.
the intestines and they wrap things around and pull
Yeah.
people apart by the horses. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they're pretty
Yep.
brutal in that aspect. So,
Yep.
I kind of threw out ideas to him because I do like creative kills. I did horror comedy. I'm all about, my mind's already reached different avenues with what can bring people in. Why is this happening? And to be able to work with Noel, which I haven't worked with that capacity. I hope but that whatever intensity you're going to give me, gonna give it
I
back.
think the one that's really cruel is the bull, the gold bull that they put them in there and then they put the fire underneath it and just let them burn on the inside.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things.
Sounds good to me. So, uh, Noah, I know that you just did a couple things too. He's really busy. I mean, he's always out there. What I love about him and getting to know him is watching how he interacts with his fans.
He's like, let me hear this.
What it is, I paid attention and I see that he treats everybody good. He treats people accordingly too, though. You get silly, he's gonna let you be back over there. And I like that, even though I was telling him, I'm very hard-headed and he's trying to give me I don't listen ever. Like I was saying, I was like, I don't know you, I don't care. Then I got to know him, and everything he said has been legit. I've always backed him, and I've always shared him with other independent filmmakers. And he's been in this business for a long time. So instead of me talking so much, he should be sharing everything that he's done and connecting, and he's always building his fan base. So I just want to say thank you for being solid, because there's not many. Small little list ever with a magnifying glass. I'm like, who is it? Not many in the showbiz.
So, Noel, what are you doing in Houston?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know what to say right now. So I was out here for a car show.
Oh,
I
a
do a
car
lot of
show.
car shows. I've done a lot of filming out here also as well. But I took an extra day just to sightsee, go check out some spots. So, and then I got a meeting later on for another adventure that I might be getting into for something. So there's a lot of things that I'm kind of in the mix with. But in Houston, I do a lot because I know a lot of people out this way. I've been to Texas a gang of times. And so it's catching up with people. It's work, a little bit of sightseeing, and talking about future projects that might take off.
Oh, man.
So there's a lot going on. It's like the Baskin Robbins 31 flavors over here.
So, Chris, you have some questions for Noel.
Okay, well,
Fire away, bro.
I was going to ask about your role as the king, but I think
It's like you're ready to answer.
Nicole has told us about that, and I don't. Okay, and so how did you get the role in A Widow's Oath? I know you were in the Desperate. That's the last film Chase
You loved him so much.
did. Yeah, right. So I guess it. Did you meet Chase? I guess that's how you got the.
How
Well,
did you meet Chase?
I actually met Chase through Nicole.
Oh,
And
okay.
so Nicole, she was the connection there. And then long story short, this business, in any business, whether it's this business or another business, whatever it is you do, the number one key to any business is personal relationship.
Okay.
And, when you are someone of integrity and you got a good, reputation, people just want to do favors for you. And so next thing you know, you meet one person, another person, it takes off from there. But long story short, this all started because of Nicole. Nicole started this roller coaster ride and then worked with Chase. I love Chase. I love Nicole. Those are my people right there, my ride or dies. And long story short, you know how it is when you do one project and then they want you for another one and you work with great people. It's always a good thing to try to stay in those type of camps. And so long story short, this is a good camp to be in. They got a lot of projects that they have done and are doing and are gearing up to even do more. So, it's always good to be with people from the ground up. And hopefully you go remembered and hopefully you get called back. I always say, my manager always makes a joke. He always says, you don't, when you have to worry when your phone stops ringing. And so
Yeah.
I've been very blessed in my career that my phone is still ringing and, thank God for that. So I just, how it is, you just take the journey and the journey takes you where the journey takes you. And I'm just along for the roller coaster ride.
So, example, if someone needs to book you, will they have to go through your manager or they just call you personally?
I mean, it's kind of both, sometimes they'll call you, but at the end of the day, you always have to finish the deal. Well, I would recommend you always should finish the deal with your agent or manager involved because they can protect you in some areas where maybe you can't protect yourself or don't know or whatever. But I've been in the business for a long time. So, I've been very...
No one can run you over.
I never say I know it all, but I know enough to protect myself before getting on any project because I've already had, 2 expensive mistakes. And the famous saying, first time, shame on me. Second time, shame on you.
Right.
So I've kind of learned. And so I protect myself always in any project that I do, especially independent projects.
Oh my God.
Because, those are the most dangerous, you know what I'm saying, to get involved with sometimes because of certain things that happen and go down and, whatever. So
Nicole
long
knows
story
about
short,
that.
yeah, right. Well, I always say 2 things. Number one is I always say if all the promises that were made to me were kept in this business, I'd be a billionaire. I'd be a billionaire, not a millionaire, a billionaire.
Billionaire.
Yeah.
And number 2, on independent projects, I've yet to get paid back-end points on any project I've ever done. So it's always good to get your money up front.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
for the work. And if one project happens to pay you and keep their word, hallelujah and amen, and you just got lucky on that. But that very rarely ever happens.
Independent.
So there's just certain things you got to be careful of,
Well, that's
Yes.
good advice. Thank you.
Told ya.
Nicole's like, I
saying-
know that.
I was saying some of this stuff to Nicole when we first started together, and she must have thought I was like the meanest actor ever. Like, I'm like, you don't get it until you get it. And but now she was learning and started to learn, and I've learned some things through her. And what I applaud Nicole on, to be straight up with you, is very early in the game. And she has done a lot and accomplished more than a lot of people who've been in the game longer. And
Hmm.
so I applaud her for that because
I've seen it.
she's a little firecracker. She's doing her thing. So to be in this movie with her, it's awesome. You know, I love it. We
She's a
worked on a
social
movie.
butterfly.
We worked on a movie already together, but we weren't in the same scene. And so
Oh,
we kind of were, but we weren't. We didn't get to act together. This is our first one where we're acting together. So, you know, we're excited about that. And long story short, it's just going to be another journey in the legacy, you know?
And down the road, because I do want to make my own feature film. Now
Oh,
oh,
and all the dynamics, and I know Noel's been solid since day one, even though I didn't listen to him, and I was saying like, thank you for getting a name. I don't know who you are. I don't trust anybody. I don't care. That's how I am. I just like, but then he pushed past my stubbornness. He held, you know, he's like, oh my gosh,
he's so
like, I'm
patient.
very patient, because I am a very stubborn person. I just am. And you know, it takes me a lot to move sometimes, with outside my comfort zones. I'm like, I'm like a stubborn mule. You gotta like really nudge me with something. But he's worked, and like I said, he shows up, he does his job. He's always connecting to other people. He goes out of his way. He went out of his way today. Look at him. He's like, I am tired. I want to go on my
I'm
tour.
here.
I just want to say thank you for taking the time. And there's, like I said, there's a small handful that I 100% back. If he's like, hey, Nicole, this happened, I would do everything I could to see what I could to help him out. He's never done anything to make me question his integrity, his value in this business or anything. And I do. I twist people and I'm like, who are you? But so does he. And he's really good with pointing things out. Even he's like, no, I don't know. And I'm like, no. Or he's like, no, I think he's good. I'm like, I don't think he's good. You know, he's really good with just that communication. He opens up the communication, and you know, I went through some things and he's like, oh, Nicole, that's nothing. I was like, what do you mean? That's like the biggest thing I ever went through my life. It was some weird stuff happening. And he's like, nah, that's child's play stuff. I'm like, as I'm traumatized, and he's like, that's nothing. And I'm like, I mean, that's something, but you
It's
know,
something.
step of the way though, there's so much that goes on. Like he said, independent films, he has to get his money up front. Hands down, he's not going to do nothing. He's not going to money up front for him or any actors that have been in the showbiz, because it's not union. And so union, you can go to somebody, but non-union, there's nobody to go to. How are you going to collect that money afterwards? So he knows, because he's been in it 30, 40 years, and he just said he made some two big mistakes. I made a couple of mistakes too. And you got to be careful, because if you say yes to a project, he's on a project, people know him. He's built his fan base for 30 something years. And they start marketing him, and then he's really not on something. He didn't get paid. You got to be careful. So there's things where I saw him popping up on things. I go, screenshot, I go, are you on this? He goes, no, I'm not on it. So they're
Oh,
using and marketing people, and it's not legit. He's not paid. He's not
oh,
signed a contract. He hasn't done anything. So there's a lot of things you have to look out for. He knows this, but people from the outside looking in, they don't know. They wouldn't know what to look out for. And I just want to say thank you, Noel, for whatever you decide to do today in Texas. I know there's fire ants out there. They're mean. Be
oh,
careful.
yes. And mosquitoes.
oh,
They're so
yeah.
big.
But
Yeah, the mosquitoes have been having lunch on my arms. So.
mosquitoes out there, well, I'm supposed to do a movie like The Killer Pizza Man next month in Texas. I was like, oh no, don't they want to do it when it's cooler outside? I'm like, am I going to be outside? What's happening here?
You
So I
need to
do
be
have to watch.
sweaty.
It's going to be rough. See, you don't have to worry, huh? Like I got all this hair. It gets all like wild. I'm like, oh, like
That's how
survive.
you have to look rough to look good in horror
No, no,
movies.
no, no, you don't have to. You don't know you want to look good in this rough situation. You're always supposed to be nice and put together, and you could be suffering and they won't know to keep this look going. But Noel, you know, if there's anything I could ever do for you too, whenever you come out to Vegas, I know you're always out here, and you're like, we miss each other there too. He's like, I got it. But I know there's things that I want to connect you with in the future. So we'll see how that goes with after this year. I got some things I got to handle, but I would like to do my own feature film. If he wants to work alongside with me, like I said, I have investors that said they want to be able to support me. They know that I'll do it. Wearing many hats is very important. You got to understand the production side. And I'm sorry you never got paid. I hope once our money flows for our investors, that they actually start getting some of their money back. I don't like that people are like, oh, put some points in and you never get nothing. So why would people decide to do that then? They wouldn't anymore. They just want the cash up front because they know that's the solid thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What
um,
she said.
go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Well, Noel, I have a question for you about your beginnings as an actor. The first production you have a credit for on IMDb that I see is for a music video titled "Latin Guy on a Bicycle," uh, and it's the offspring for a white guy from 1998. And then I see in your bio that you were in a Taco Bell commercial, I think at age 15. So are those some of your earliest experiences as an actor? Or so tell us about how you got into acting.
Yeah, it was basically that. I'll give you the short version. So I was dating this girl. She wanted to be an actress. I never thought a day about it. One day she asked me to go to an acting class with her. Did this Taco Bell commercial. I got a lot of money from that. It's kind of like hitting a baby lottery. And because I didn't know about residual checks at the time, and I thought it was a computer mess up. So long story short, all this money was coming in, and I was like, "Well, I keep on getting paid." And then the guy who hooked me up with the commercial told me that's how actors get paid. I said, "What? Well, I want to be an actor." And
That's
so
how
I
it
meet,
happened.
so I meet a manager friend of his, and he started sending me out on auditions. But everything he sent me out for was, bad guy stuff, was
Ah,
gangster stuff. And I grew up like that in real life. So I was like, man, I thought I was here to play me. And long story short, I started developing a quote unquote bad guy, uh, you know, the bad
persona.
guy go to for Latinos
Oh.
in what I call Hollywood. And
Hollywood.
and then, I started getting a lot of jobs and, TV shows. I was doing commercials. And then when I did Fast and Furious, that's when the roller coaster really took off. And, let's just say after Fast, my phone started ringing a lot more, like I said. And then here I am today. And that's the microwave version. But yeah,
Okay.
What was your most challenging role in your entire career?
I never really had a challenging role
Oh,
yet, to be completely honest with you. Probably this
this
King one
one will
will
be.
be it because I've always got paid to like be me pretty much, you know what I mean? And
This is not
everything that
you.
I've ever done. And I take no credit for this saying. My boy Emilio Rivera said it. So I take no credit for it, but it's a beautiful saying. He said, "You can't teach what you lived." And so, I've lived that life in real life. And so all I'm saying is every time I'm playing a bad guy Latino or whatever,
You're
that
used to
it's second nature to me, you know what I'm saying? And now if I'm playing a doctor or a king in a widow's oath, now I'm acting.
it.
You feel me? So I'm pretty used to those type of roles. So it's really nothing for me, to be honest with you, you know?
What's your most challenging role, Nicole?
What was mine?
Oh
Probably
no, you had time to
my
think.
last one in Lost Media.
Oh,
Only,
really?
yeah, because I was doing the production, so I did a lot of hats.
Oh,
Patience, the crafty, the second AD work.
everything.
But as a character itself, I had three roles in it,
Three?
and I had three, but they were all me. So it was
Oh,
one kidnap, and they make her look something different in a movie named Celeste, and then they make a clone of me, which kills the original me. It's very weird and bizarre.
oh,
And I think what's hard, and I was talking to Chase about it. When he wants me to deliver the lines, he doesn't want me to blink at all. The
oh.
dialogue is very choppy. So I'm going to find a way where, you know how you have that cold stare and you're just delivering the lines and you have that intensity in the eyes and you can feel that energy without blinking. So I blink a lot. I'm like, oh my, I was like, I'm blinking like
Now,
nonstop. So I got to
now
figure
you're
out
making me.
how not to blink. Maybe get some tools from the trade or something. No blinking, intense
Oh,
of like lines. I think that I don't know if somebody else has that nailed down besides that Wednesday girl. Oh, Jenna Ortega, you know how she was delivering
Yeah.
yeah.
while
Yeah.
talking without a blinking. I'm like, I'm going to need some tips on that. But I think it's the delivery and the range and then killing someone because sometimes you only got one shot to kill someone. Sometimes
Oh,
it's
the blood.
not. So you got to be accurate. You have to really be on it, because if you're not, you're gonna know. They're gonna be like,
Oh,
oh, why they didn't do it to me. I was accurate with what I had to do with whatever I was delivering on that. So that's my challenging. For Noel, maybe the king and working with me will be challenging for you. I don't know. I'll be like, oh my gosh, Nicole, no, never again. No, I don't know. We'll see. He'll be like, man, that was pretty intense. I like the actors that are generous with their energy. So I could feed it off them, and then I can also give it back. Because if you're doing it a couple of times, which I usually never get, I get like 1 or 2 takes, and they're like, "Oh, you're good." I'm like, "That's it." Like,
I want
I like
more.
that. Well, I just want to make sure it's getting enough, because you want that intensity. So if I'm delivering something and I'm really want to have make sure that the people in my scenes are also be able to feed off of me. I want to be generous with it. And I have to make sure too, like I never worked with Noel in that capacity. Sometimes when I do, I'm very close to people. Like, is it okay? I'm gonna get really close to you. Grab your arm. I got to make sure that they feel comfortable as well. Some of the people, they're like, why? Because in the scenes, sometimes being close looks better. It's not like that in real life, but in those
Yeah.
angles, it captures more. And some people get nervous. So that's another challenge we have to do. They're fine. All of a sudden I'm in a scene, they're like sweating. I go, no, what? I'm gonna work with that sweat. Don't wipe it off. It'll be okay. I said, can I roughhouse you a little bit? Can I do that without hurting you? So I like engagement, and I like sometimes we're allowed to do improv too, so which works better than the lines they give sometimes. Sometimes they want you to do it a different way, instead of being intense or direct. Maybe they want you to be more goofy and lighthearted. It's really what the director wants, but you have to be with a good director that can capture your scenes and making sure that you're delivering it accordingly to what they want. Yeah, I like all that. That's a lot, huh?
Yeah. I like information. I like
Well,
information.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
have my drink here.
You need another one.
Maybe not one of those, just water. But
Okay. So, Nicole, I also have a question for you about your beginnings as an actor. And I see that you have 39 credits for acting, with the first being a short film I see called Another Weekend from 2021. So is that also your beginnings as an actor?
that was
Or
not my first set was the cleaning lady. They gave me my first half Harley. They liked my energy, my look. But I didn't know anything about showbiz. I stepped onto a set and I was like, what is this? It's 12 hours long. I was telling you, they paired me with this young guy, and I'm like, I could be mom. So I was like, this is university. I said it to everybody on set.
I could be
They
a
all
mom.
laughed at me. It was really weird. And then I kind of like, don't look at me that way, but can I hold your arm? Because they're like, go to 3, go to 2, look over. Like they're doing all that. I didn't know what they were telling me, and they're like, reset. I'm like, I don't know what they're saying to me. So you have to take acting classes. I did, and I took stunt training. But that other credit that you mentioned was just a reel. It's
oh,
not anything. It's just showing something. I would never do it again. I was
oh,
so new.
okay.
I had no direction. And getting thrown into water and swimming, and I'm exhausted. And then I make it to this island of the jungle, and it's another fight. Like everything
Oh,
in the showbiz felt like it was a fight for me. And then I got really tired out from it until I got to learn who to work with and the development of a character, and it was just different. Well, you had it much easier. Taco Bell. Heck, I didn't get my damn Taco Bell. I go to Taco Bell almost every day. Where's my card? Uh, but no, I didn't have that. I mean, and he went younger too. So, you started in your teens. I started in my 40s. I was like, oh no, like you get more tired out quicker, I was like, that I had to learn the dynamics, everything. And then I think your work ethic, showing up and having integrity will get you far. No cutting corners, none of that BS, not a facade of who you want people to think you are. This is who I am. And I'm still learning to adjust to different areas in showbiz, and each step of the way is a little bit more. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna be done. Like I think I told Noel, I think I told you before, I was like, I think I'm done with showbiz. I don't know. I get like that. I'm done. I'm gonna go in the Caribbean. I'm gonna go live my life. I don't need any of this stuff. But then I like the challenge, and then Chase, like, I'm gonna
Reel you in.
reel me back in, and then I'm here right now with all of you, which I'm very grateful for. But I could be in the Caribbean right now. enjoying my life, getting an island tan, but I do like the aspect of building a team and showing that it can be done, fully completed with distribution and the challenging roles that come with it, because it's very demanding sometimes on set just for an actor. Or, since a lot of people know Noel, when you're hiring an actor that is named, known celebrity, you have to have a separate room from them. Don't you dare hire them. Listen, independent people, do not just throw them where they don't have their own separate room where they can gather their thoughts, unwind a little bit, get their hair and makeup in privacy with their script. And also announce to people that they're not just going to take a picture right before a scene. Maybe if he's maybe during lunch break or after he's done with his scenes at the end of the day. So there has to be rules and regulations, because he's there to work. He's not realizing that a lot of people are there as a fan. And so, he's gonna look at you as a coworker. So don't do any of that stuff, because that's very unprofessional. There's a lot of things that I point out as a producer that I don't know how to protect talents, which is important, isn't it, Noel? I'm sure you had your fair share of people
Barging in, trying to get pictures.
everything. He's probably he probably had his fair share. But I know that I'm glad that he's 5 core, where you can work union, non-union. Some people are strictly SAG unless you're a main producer.
Yeah.
To work state, there's loopholes and everything on how to navigate through this showbiz, because people do watch you. They eventually watch you. They either get inspired, or they're trying to figure out, how are you doing this? How are you doing this? And they're not doing it. And it's work. You work nonstop in all different areas until you start questioning yourself, and then you're doing it right. That's sort of like, oh my gosh, this is so long. What am I doing? And it's so demanding. But I think when you connect with good people, it makes it so much better. And to form good relationships, you can't force that either. People try to force it, and they try to, like, I want to know you. I need to. I'm like, oh, you're making me nuts. Don't do it to me. Happening. It's not happening. I will shut it down. But Noel, there's things that happen, I messaged him on, and I'm so glad that he was able to redirect me with refocusing, because there's a lot of distractions in the showbiz. The more you're doing, there's more nonsense that I think tries to pull you out of your path instead of focused on the work at hand. There's a lot of these weird distractions, and I don't think people share how demanding it is for people to want to get to know you, that want to be in your space, that want, like, they could breathe me in if they could. So, and I'm at this low level. I got 5 years in it. So I can imagine when someone's been in it for so long, to make sure that they are protected and they're not, feeling like they're getting mistreated or used and abused. So, I did my talking now. I'm all talked out.
Need another energy drink.
I do. No, I don't want to hold him up either, because I know he's in Texas, so horseback riding, maybe. That's where I'd be going if I was in Texas.
Yeah, no, I do got to go right now, but I will say this last thing, respectfully, is I love Nicole because everything comes from a good place and a good heart. And one thing, everyone's their own individual, though. So some people might not like some of the things that you said, but, like, for me personally, I don't really mind. Like, I understand, like, if a person wants a picture or whatever, like, before, after, to me, it don't matter when or what. But again, I get what you're saying, though, because, again, everyone's an individual, and it's so crazy because really when you're in a movie, it's like babysitting a bunch of different personalities.
Yeah.
One person wants this, one person wants that, one person wants this, and you have to try to accommodate everyone to work together as a team to keep everyone's happiness. And sometimes it's a nightmare. Sometimes you get a lucky situation, and sometimes you get a bad situation. And that's why, I tell people sometimes, that's why it's so hard to get in, like, a Steven Spielberg family, or an Adam Sandler family, or a Tyler Perry family, or whatever, because once they find they're good people who do this, and that, why would I take a chance on a new person? I already got my person who, we got each other's rhythm down. We know each other's beat. I could rely on this person. He or she knows when I need this, when I need that. So I'm not going to take a chance on a newcomer. And,
Right.
In today's world, we live in a gimme, gimme, gimme world. A lot of people want to be at the top without starting on the bottom. And so that's why I just tell people, like, once you prove yourself a step at a time, I've learned something in business. When you're one of these people, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry I forgot to do that email. I'm sorry I parked in the wrong spot. You just become a sorry worker. And no one wants to work with sorry workers. They want to work with problem solvers. So I know that everything Nicole says comes from a good heart, a good place, but some people don't mind and some people do mind. It just depends on the individual. So you do have to be very careful. And there's also a level of respect. Just it's like when you're talking to someone, know when to joke around and know when not to joke around. And vice versa, whatever. But anyways, if you got one more question, I'll answer one more question, but then I gotta go. But I love you guys. I'm glad I got to jump on. I was really trying to squeeze you in because I am in Texas and I set up some appointments with people I know and everything that I'm doing. Tonight I got free, but I'll answer one more question quickly if there's one you want to get out, and then I gotta go right after that.
What
Oh.
type of roles are you interested in playing? And maybe I can hire you one day to be in my movies.
It's kind of funny. Now, to each their own, no judgment. To each their own. Once again, no judgment. But I will not play a gay guy. I will.
Okay.
You're not going to put a dress on this Mexican. Like those type of roles are not going down with me, at least. Again, no judgment. To each their own. You do you. I do me. But I'm pretty much open, is what I'm getting at. If a role makes sense and it's a good role, it's a good script, it's a good movie, I'm with it. I'm in. Let's go. It really comes down to the details. If the details make sense, count me in. If they don't make sense, count me out.
Okay.
So I try to be as Nicole knows, I try to be as easygoing as possible. But at the same time, there's a level of respect that you have to know. There's a fine line where, hey, I'll bend for that, but I won't bend for this, and certain things and whatever. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, long story short, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming on the show.
We
Yes,
could
thank you.
always set something up again in the future where I got more time. It's just I'll explain later, whatever. But anyways, I love you guys. You guys got a good person on the show right now. Nicole will take the mantle from here. That's my future wife. We're gonna get married. We're gonna get married to divorce. So,
Okay.
No,
Who knows? The
no,
future.
married to death.
but all right, man. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having
Thank
me.
you.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No, he's so good. So I'm saying I met so many solid. I mean, he's been one of the main solids since I met him. It just took me a little bit to let him into my life and everything. Very,
You're like, I don't know you. You can't tell me
he's
what
like,
to
yeah,
do.
he's just solid. But he's one of a few. Like I had, some people that have been in it 30, 40 years is like really gotten to know me and took me under the wing. And, I shared with them my experience of what I've learned as a producer, and they shared what it took for being an actor and the hustle behind it. Even if they had agents helping them, they are the main source. They do all their hustling, but they have to go through their agent to make sure like they get a cut, or everybody wants a cut of that pie. But no, he is solid, and he's funny because I'm glad he got to come on, and I know he's like, want to do it later or early? I was like, no, okay. But he made time, and I'm glad
He
he
made
did.
time. I'm glad.
He's pretty solid, and I'm glad Chase is working with him again. But yeah, I've known, he's like, how did you? I connected him to Noel, but I also connected him to a couple of the other named talents like Lisa Wilcox. She lives out here. She stars in Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. So I got to know her and finally went to her house. She invited me to her birthday, but it took me a year to say
Aw.
yes. Always inviting me, and I'm like, oh, and I'm usually a homebody unless someone's like, I really want you there, and then I'll go. But no, I think people need to learn to what to look out for. Like if you're hiring name talent, like I know Chase was, a little inside. He's like, oh, Noel's not getting back to me. I said, you have to pay him up front. He's not going to market. He's not going to do anything because this is an independent, non-union film. Non-union films, who are you going to go after? How are you going to go after them?
Nobody.
At your SAG, they will get fined. They will get in trouble. They will shut down their production. And so when people are like, should I go SAG? go SAG if it makes sense, or I got 3 Taft Hartley, some lady called me and says, I'm a must join, or I can't be on a SAG. So I said, not even background SAG? I was like, you're forcing me? And she goes, Nicole, we're not forcing you. I go, it's forcing me. So I dished out that $3,000, and then it's a biannual fee, in October and April. But you have to be careful, because if you're like in California, you cannot do non-union. Somebody will turn you in, you'll get fined, you'll get yelled at. If you don't think SAG's working out for you, you can then write a letter. It's on their choice. So just because you write the letter doesn't mean they're going to release you. And you can go FICOR. That's working union, non-union. You just lose your SAG card, writes the vote, and you kind of, Lisa was telling me, you get called a scab. And it's harder than to work on these bigger SAG projects, because then you're FICOR. So that part, that's the juggle of it. What you do, what will it affect you then in your career to advance onto those bigger SAG sets, which, I had scenes with Kevin Hart my first year on Back on the Strip, and I got one line, and I was like, oh, this is great. They cut it. I was non-union. I was only in showbiz for 4 months. So what did I know? And they had me in the trailer, and they had me in all this stuff, and then that was it. So you just have to make sure you protect yourself, and talk to people. There's some people that, like I said, I went through some malicious stuff. It's only because I didn't want to be on a drama set. So I said, pull out. They made money from me too. So I can't just say yes to anybody unless I know for certain, because I get used as a perk. So I had people pay, this one guy paid $2,500, the other one paid $3,500 to act in scenes. And so that's my responsibility. I know this. And if people are marketing me to make money from me, that's how showbiz is. If you can't get money from an actor, you can't get eyes. They hire you because you're bringing people to their film, or investors. And so there's a responsibility. So I have to be very careful who I say yes to. And it's, I had a lot of people reaching out to me and like, how come you said yes to so-and-so, but you're saying no to me? I said, first of all, you have never completed a feature film with distribution. I will not work with somebody unless they could show me that they can go at least to that point. If not, I think people sometimes abuse their funds. They never film, or they never complete the film. So even when you're done,
several people like that.
they have a lot of finishing funds, and things don't make sense, because post-production can get pretty pricey too, depending on who you're hiring for all the color grading and editing and all that stuff. But I think market yourself, be a team player. I do pay attention when I'm on other sets to see how other people treat people. If they don't know you, or they don't think they could benefit from you, and they're not a good person, I won't work with them either. I'm really watching, and I've helped out, even though, like, even on the Mahal set, they gave me a great star role. I hope that movie comes out, Alien Heart. It was the best film I ever did. And I was carrying the girls' makeup bag up the stairs and taking out the garbage and setting up tables and chairs and helping out in that area. It's a team effort. So when people are like, oh, it's everybody's job on a non-union, those are so hard to fully complete and make. Just volunteering and making someone's day a little easier. It makes it such a better day. But yeah, I have some things to figure out. He's funny. He's like, yeah, I could, but I don't think I'll ever really get married again in my real life.
Well,
I have people like try to like date me now, because I just recently, after 28 years, I'm coming into a new chapter.
Cupid might struck you.
Oh no, they're not striking me. I'm deflecting. I have repellent on. I have
Repellent.
like, I have people like, you could come live with me. I could treat you like. I go, I'm not used to that. I'm very self-sufficient. No, thank you. And I'm not ready. Even though people are like, hey, give me a chance. I'm like, okay. I can't do it. It's too much. So I kind of just started ignoring things, even though people were very polite. I just don't. I have things I have to get done in my life first. I did want to give a shout out to Sean C. Phillips and Ethan Phillips. Sean's the first one to reach out to me in the capacity as working as a main producer. So I had less than 2 years in, and that's when I put together Desert Fiends. So when you're doing this main producer, I know how everything's ran. I send all the. I like knowing, because then
I know. I see you everywhere.
Sending out the emails, and then people know what their character is, make sure the script, the wardrobe, the locations, all the crafty, printing out all the paperwork. I had 6 people stay with me in my house, and then Airbnb had 6 people. So I'm taking out the garbage every day, and I'm washing all the sheets. I'm like, oh, no time for anything else. But I probably won't do it to that capacity again. He could hire me as just crew, or as an actor. I cannot do both. That, you know, and then you're giving me all this paragraphs of dialogue. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, you want to put me in a psych ward? Are you trying to get rid of me? I thought you liked me.
You like me?
I was like, oh, you're making me like, then you got to like relax a little bit and find some kind of zen out in the middle of the mountains out here in Nevada, you know, like trying to center yourself. But it can get really demanding. And if you don't have healthy boundaries, people will, you'll get burned out.
Oh yeah.
And then you're no good to nobody. And then you don't want to do it anymore. And it should be something that's shared with everybody. But I am excited. I can't wait for, you know, I don't know who you have next for a podcast. But there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people I think that should be part of your podcast.
It's
Who do we have
Emma
next?
Dark, I
Emma Dark.
believe, from she is a British
We have a
film
pretty
producer.
we have a pretty long list through March, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But you know, some people fall off and we move people up or, you know, insert other people in, but we have a list all the way through March right now.
And you have Effective Magazine. Effective
Yes.
Magazine. Thank you so much. So when this does come out, I want to put all the links because people want it right there. They want the access right there. So if you're just sharing this part, they don't know that you have other areas that you're running and businesses. They only see this. So connecting all the links in there helps them know that there's other resources, you're always building your fan base. So
I never thought about linking them together like that. Thank you for the advice. I will
because
do that.
that's all they'll see is what this is. And whoever we're connecting to, that they're not Effective Magazine. And I know I got to give a shout out to Minnie Dortry, a fellow military veteran.
Mindy?
Yeah, she'll be, I think, on your show.
She'll be on our she's already got interviewed by Idol Feature for one of our next issues, and she is on our list to be interviewed sometime in the next couple months. It's a long list.
Oh, no, that's wonderful because it keeps growing. And I did add all of my people. It was like 1,000 people. So when you do invites, let people know that you're doing interviews for. Can you please send the invites to the page? If you're supporting them, they should be able to support you back by sharing, also inviting their fan base to your page.
Yes, thank you. And speaking of, I asked Noel that question. I want to ask you the same question. What roles are you interested in playing? Like, what do you like to play? Have you played a role that you've always wanted to play? Like maybe, well, actually, you've played everything, haven't you?
I haven't. So I would like, if I do in the future, I'm looking into doing my own feature film. I'd like to do a Western horror.
A Western horror.
Oh, that sounds
Oh.
interesting.
And I just want like a weird scene in it though. I want something where I get shot off a horse in a jerk fest, you know, like for the stunts, they get pulled off the horse. I want a big hole in my stomach, like Death Becomes Her.
You want to die?
I always want to die or kill something or some kind of action. But I have to figure out the storyline, but it wouldn't be till next year. And Arizona already has the Western building set up. They have the out there. I think it'd be more feasible since I wouldn't do in the summertime though, unless we all want to die and cook out there. We're all going to be busy. But I would like to do a Western. I haven't done that. And there's a couple other scenes, roles. I've been a cop in real life. So I did that for 1 year in North Las Vegas. That was it. You know, I passed everything. But I had 3 boys and I was burning myself at both ends. And just the stuff I went through, that was just horrible. It seemed like each place and each dispatch, you know, sent me to was just, it's a lot. So please be kind to your first responders. I was in the military back 20 something years ago. My son's now in it. He's in the Marines, but I thought I was tough, you know, my M60 and, you know, this look, you know, people wouldn't be like, oh, I can't picture you. It's like, good. I don't want you to picture me. Not me anymore. And I learned to be more, I'm working on not being so abrasive, you know, like very direct and talking like this. And as an actress, they want you to be like this.
Sweet.
Hold on, let me reset myself. Hold on. Hi. Like, oh my gosh, that's hard. I'm like, I got this. Because you're so used to just being direct. And you know, the three C's: contain, control, and communicate. Be very effective. Trust but verify. So what I'm telling you and what people are saying, there's more to it. Make sure if they're not, and there's starting to be loopholes, believe it. Don't be like, oh, well, make an excuse for them. And they're not legit people right there and then. So now when people come to me, I ring them out. I'm like, oh,
Oh yeah.
that's somebody that was on just checking out Lost Media Center. He's like, oh, I'm a cop and all this stuff. I was like, oh, you are? Then what's your P number? And he's like, I don't know what that is. I said, you don't know what a P number is? A P number, I'm going to give a little insight, is your number on your badge. You get that after you make past, will be on your badge after probation, but you have it assigned to you when you go into the police academy. So I was like, how could you not have it? He goes, oh, well, I'm a deputy in corrections. I said, first of all, deputy is on the country jurisdiction. Corrections is inside a jail. So which one are you? Keep going. You are. I'm coming for you. And then I was like, oh, you said you're also in the military? Because I was in the military. I said, what's your MOS? That's your job. And he's like, well, you can see my tattoos. I'm like, oh,
that don't mean shit.
away from me. So people will go away from me when I know they're not legit. I will question them, and then they're like, they can spin off however they want. But I got their number. I got a lot of people now. I'm like, go for it all day long.
Wow.
Unless someone's personally working with someone that I know is questionable, I will say, hey, this is what I know. This is what I experienced, but it's up to you with the information that you're provided for. Because sometimes you don't get information on somebody, even though people know, and they're like, oh, I just thought it'd be different for you. I'm like, no, it wasn't. So is that person good for withholding that information that is very vital to make these really important decisions on a production set? So you have to, as much as you can, get to know as many people so they can also look out for you. Like I share with Chase all the time. I'm like, Chase, this is what I went through. This is how I handled it. And he's like, I learned so much. And it's only because I put myself out there, and it's very uncomfortable. The growth of this is so uncomfortable. I hate it. I hate it so much, but I'm glad to understand and then become more aware. And I love that part of that connection. And then also giving people a heads up, like, hey, this is how I did. Doesn't mean, what's that? We all climb up the mountain differently. So my way might not be your way, just like with Noel. I wonder what he's doing today. I was like, you're in Texas. I'm going to be in Texas next month.
Oh.
And then I don't know if I'm going to be in that clown motel because I'm supposed to move to Florida or move from here, but I think I'm going to be Vegas trapped forever. I tried to escape for over 10 years.
Oh.
I'm like, I am a failure at escaping Vegas.
Where in Texas are you gonna be?
I don't know if they're going to have it in Dallas or San Antonio. If it's in San Antonio, that's, the Lackland Air Force Base is there, but they have Bandera. That's a cowboy capital of the world. And I love horseback riding there. I don't know I love horseback riding. That is my jam. I haven't done it in a while because out here it's too dusty and it's hot. It's like dust everywhere.
It's so dry.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm like, my eyeballs. I think I'm going to start getting those eye drops. I mean, it's not just dry. Everything you touch, you will burn. You will get burnt. Everything outside will burn you right now until I'm going to say late October. But
late October. Oh
yeah,
my God.
Yeah, it's hot. So if they're going to do, I was like, Joe, why are you going to do a film when it's like 110 out or something? Why are you going to do electro? That's another thing too. If you're on a set and people are in prosthetics, please do due diligence. Give them electrolytes, the V packs. Have them chug it before, during, and after. If not, you're gonna have people drop out. And I'm very big on safety protocols and communication and making sure people know, because there's rattlesnakes out here too. I'm gonna go wandering up. I make them sign a release form, which they sign it. That means that yeah, you're. And I make them hold it up and take a picture too. Like I had but they have to be careful. I mean, if I want to go to Florida, I've been seeing all these gators, all these gator tags. I don't know what's going on. The more you look, I guess it pops up. There's gators out of control.
Yeah.
So if you know how you know a gator's in that water in Florida? Touch the water. If it's wet, they're in there. Sorry.
Okay.
And if you go that close, and there's snakes and
that's so funny.
So I get tired and I get really goofy. So everyone's like,
I love it.
Sometimes I'm mostly responsible and serious, but I'm going to learn to have a little bit of fun, but I'm not used to it. So I usually stay home a lot. Like I don't want to leave my house. I got too comfortable. I'm like, no, I'm just going to stay. No, you don't want to go out. I'm like, what time is this? Past 7? Like past 7 o'clock is like, it's like, you're just telling me now. I was like, no, you have to give me a week heads up, at least a week. If you do me a last minute, it's probably going to be a no. I'll probably just not happen. It's not going to happen. Even like Noel G's like, hey, Nicole, let's hang out. And he's like, for the 1,000th time. He goes, you never hang out with, I know, I don't. I won't hang out with we've hung out though. Franklin Brothers Haunted Houses is the best haunted house out here. If you check out Franklin Brothers, JT Molnar is a director filmmaker that I've known for 15 years. He just he had Strange Darling come out, and he did the screenplay for Stephen King for A Long Walk, and I've been knowing him for 15 years. His parents came to see our red carpet for Skate to Hell, and I'm glad I know somebody that, you know, he put 25 years in. He's like, Nicole, he goes, you got to do all this, and when you're done with all this list I gave you, he goes, you have to come out to LA and suffer with the rest of us. And I already felt like I suffered enough. I was like, how much suffering do I have to do in the showbiz? This is, and they don't tell you how hard it is. They say it's hard, but what makes it hard? Not having the right connections, not having the talent or the credibility, not knowing how to market yourself, connect to those casting directors you're in your area, get on those background sets. If they like you, they'll bump you. Don't stand next to somebody that looks just like you. Because I had people say, oh, there's so many people that look like you in California. I said, well, they don't have my background, so they don't have my I don't know anybody that, yeah. I was like, they're like, people are. I was like,
You're
whatever.
so funny.
But yeah, I mean, thank you guys so much. I mean, is there anything that you wanted to know about me? I'll do the best to share. I'm pretty open with, you know, what goes on in my
Oh,
life.
we have more questions for you.
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
She's like, oh,
I,
we're talking, you guys, so you couldn't ask me those questions.
we got more
well, I
questions.
definitely have some questions about the character in the beautiful painting that is behind you. Did you do that? Did you paint that yourself, maybe?
No, this is a blanket. It's a blanket.
Oh, it's a blanket. Okay. And is that your character in Clown Motel 3 Ways to Hell?
It is. It's Saber
Okay.
Sparkles. So when I went and got cast for that, Joe Kelly, there goes my son. Just made a face at me. I was like, you be quiet. I'm gonna let him read that. No. So Joe Kelly had me as Saber, but I was like, can I add Saber, like Sparkles? So I added the Sparkles to that name. And he says, I want you like a Harley Quinn look, but he gave me free range to develop Saber Sparkles. So, you know, I got the green hair and the rainbow contacts and really good makeup I did myself. I mean, it's really hard to reach. I'm like all over. Like hardest part is getting that makeup off. It's like 5 days. I look like I have a disease on my skin, like patches of white everywhere. I'm like, what the heck? But with her, he used me as a perk, and it was the first time I was ever on Indiegogo as a perk, and I was like so nervous. I said, Joe, why would you do that to me without asking? I was like, no one knows me. Why would I was so. And the time I told Kevin, you know, now ex-husband, I was like, you're gonna have to buy the perk. No one's gonna, but people did. 5 people bought it. I said, oh, I'm all done. I can't, because that's a lot to do. I said, there's tons of named people that you should focus on now because, you know, they cost more money. And I did his for free. I helped him out for free. I bought like food for on the set. When I was on set, I was only on there twice because I didn't want to burn myself out. And then on the day, I had to be there for people that were flying in to work with me. What's hard is people wanted me to kill them. So, you know, I had a real horseshoe they gave me. A real horseshoe. The guys on the front, I said, do not move your face. Do not move your face. I said it loud. You're going to get hurt. This is real. So I was driving it into like by his face. And the other one, they gave me a lasso, but they didn't tell me I was going to use a lasso beforehand. So I was like, I'm like, oh crap. It's like, hold on, I had to hurry up and I'm trying to get it around them.
That's
I
funny.
put around one and made it happen. And then I had a bottle scene where I broke it. And that turned out really good. I only had 2. So 1 is none, 2 is 1. And then the other one, I'm slicing the guy's neck, but they start having the blood come out. Now I'm like, oh, this is happening. Like,
This is happening.
you gotta be quick. And then the other guy, so he had a 3rd leg, like, and he had a hole in his crotch.
Oh, okay. I was about to say a 3rd.
Well, real 3rd, fake leg.
Okay.
And he didn't wear any underwear. He wore no underwear. I swear to goodness, if anything comes out, I am going to saw it off. And then the saw was real. It was like a 5-foot saw, like a one that you're supposed to have 2 people, all rusty. They found on the property. I was like, and the guy's like, Nicole, if you nick me, it's okay. I said, no, you're gonna have to get a tetanus shot.
Oh my God.
Okay, I said, it's not okay. It's not okay. Okay, you did it. It's okay if I do it. So, but I'm sorry. I swear nothing better come out. Just be still. So they work you in these non-union, you better just pull it together no matter how hard it is. They don't care. Get that scene done. Just like in Skate to Hell, we got that worldwide distribution through Despop. On that one, that was my second feature film. I worked with Sean, and I know, I'm so weird. Oh, you're gonna not want to talk to me after this. I wanted real worms in that scene and mealworms and bugs. I know, I'm a
No,
weird.
that's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
I try. I don't look like it. I don't behind the scenes.
It's realistic, but
Yeah, I love it.
Very
Yeah.
realistic. It was
Yeah.
real. So I was inspired by Drag Me to Hell, where the gypsy pooped in the mouth. And so they only had one shot to get that right. So they had it from up high and he poured it. I could feel that force in it moving around and I froze. And I guess he was trying to tell me to spit it out, but I was in my head. He had to tell me a couple times, but I could hear it behind the scenes after I watched it. And when I did, I didn't realize that one almost got my ear and the girl saved it from me. Think of it. I didn't, but it looks good. Two people puked on set. It's a gross
great.
scene,
Yeah.
but it's non-union, so you can get away with certain things, which I want to kind of push the envelope. If the scene's not memorable, you're just going to pass it by. So if you're going to be on a film and you're going to do something, make sure it counts. Whatever
Yes.
you're given, and these Indiegogos, you can have scenes like that. People can buy perks to where they actually get something that they always wanted. And I like Eric Yoder. I'm going to share that. This is his head that he gave me.
Oh.
Head. This
You
was
get to
rough.
keep it.
I do. I got to keep it on Desert Fiends 2, spoiler. And this was also in Lost Media. We got to reuse this head a little.
Oh,
So with her, I had to have my mouth open for almost an hour. In this cast, I'm drooling everywhere. And before I went in with this cast, though, I said, better be professional. No writing weird, stupid stuff by my mouth. Don't be dumb. Just stay professional. But this took me an hour. For my son as well, he was only 11 when he cast his, and his mouth was open for that long too. And that's heavy. So he did. Some people are claustrophobic, so some people will never be able to get cast. So this is his. And I wanted also to show this. This is his creation for Skate to Hell, the prop. I know I got the prop. People love this stuff.
oh, that's so cool.
So I think I know. And when I go to these conventions, like the Days of the Dead, which I'm not doing this year, I'm so sad. I thought I was going to do it, and things just changed. People like holding props. They try to buy too, like, I'll buy your head. I'm like, no, you won't. You could get your own head. But there's
That's
also,
what she said.
yeah. So this is me with the worm. So Despop picked out of all the scenes, that's my first cover I ever made, official cover. And this is Elizabeth Chamberlain that I think you got to know a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, so our scenes were pretty gruesome and Skate to Hell. I enjoyed working with her. She's a film.
speaking of conventions, I meant to ask you. I know you met Chase through conventions, right?
Oh,
No?
well, in person, I met him in January this year. He came out to Vegas. So I didn't know him. I forgot how we connected. I know he's like, I really want to cast you in this. I want to do this. But the timing, something, the timing was off. This timing is good now. And I'm glad. And he kind of fills my head though. He's like, Nicole, you're a celebrity. I said, I am not. And I haven't been in it long enough. And I don't have any big films out. So please stop saying that. I have people know me and I'm responsible. And you got to treat your fan base really good. Some people are very nervous, when they come up, you can see, because they go like, and they're like, oh, hi. And I'll
Like, come on in.
I don't want to stare them. Like, should I do this look like this? Like, what do you look? I've done that before where people are staring at me. I just turn. So now I'm more gracious, I have to be careful because people feel like, and it's good to build a fan base.
You do a lot of conventions?
I've only done I've done two. Days of the Dead, Bill Phil gave me the opportunity. They give us our first panel. I was supposed to have a panel for Skate to Hell, but then Sean had me cancel the red carpet event in September because that Desert Fiends 2 is coming out next month. So it defeats the purpose for everybody to see it. People were still wanting to see it. I said, I'm just not. I canceled. I booked everything. I told Bill, I said, it's not going to happen this year. I happened in January. Get a panel, have your movies out so people can, sign them and have some fun props in the background. I have these flames. I love when people can have a little bit more fun, not just a boring standing by a picture. Let's hold a head. Let's hold some pretend worms. I can give them. Do you want the real ones? Fine. Let's hold a picture of that. But I think the most, I went to MegaCon and I met Rick Danford. Rick Danford
Oh,
owns Indie Horror Junkie. He has a podcast, a magazine. He invited me out there, but it was MegaCon. So it was a fairy tale. It wasn't a scary tale. I was like, what is this? This is not what I thought it was gonna be. But I'm glad I got to meet him and some other filmmakers. I think it's just putting yourself out there. And also I know people from word of mouth want me to work on their set. To what capacity, that has to be a contract discussed. I'm pretty affordable. Like Chase is like, what do you want as a pay each day? And it's an independent film, so I understand the dynamics. I want a castle. Let's do horses. Like, and I said, if someone buys if you do horses, I know
there's gonna be horses.
possible.
Oh,
I say there was possible. Possible.
ah,
So if they do horse, I said you can't have somebody buy a perk and be on a horse if they don't know how to horseback ride. That's a liability. But that would be cool because there's ways you can utilize the horses in these films, especially with a castle. Who doesn't want to film in a castle?
it would be
I
so
don't want to
cool. It would be so cool if you're on a horse and you're like evil. You have someone tied to the horse and have their leg dragged, the fake
film-
body.
I don't think Queens do that though back then. I think the
But it's
men,
for her leisure.
but I think a torture chamber that she has hidden with her witch that does the bones in the cup. You know how they used to have the fortune tellers in the cup with the bones and
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think that would be great. And I was telling Chase, there's what I threw out there because it's not my film. I don't want to overstep. I'm just throwing suggestions.
Yeah.
I said, fun in the torture chamber. Someone could pull somebody apart on a horse with the 4 horses going in the
That's
directions.
being
That's,
drawn and quartered. Yeah.
I mean, let's make it fun. Let's have some shock effect. Especially for indie filmmaker, this is a big undertaking he's doing. If there's enough people that support him and he's able to utilize those finances in the correct way and things that I don't know how much a castle costs in Kentucky. I know there's castles in Texas, upstate New York. Due diligence, hopefully I don't know what the price is. It has to be in budget. You don't want to go over budget and then have to do finishing funds and all that stuff. I think he's gonna need about 250 for this film. Locations cost a lot of money, food, camera equipment, hiring the crew, some of the main talent, housing, all of it is very pricey depending on who you're hiring. I know he's gonna reach out to some of the other bigger
Private
name
investors.
well, private investors too, but also some bigger names that people never got to really work with. So I've been kind of giving them my connections to who I've talked to or who I've been in contact with, for future films or people that have done films like, Tom Arnold's great and stuff like that. And I hope he's doing well, but he did break his back. So yeah, and that was really
Oh,
hard. So and he's funny because he's like, oh, Nicole, he goes, I could hire you as a personal assistant. I said, I couldn't do what I'm doing now. And that's very demanding. Like, they expect you just to, you pre-do things. You have to like take initiative ahead of time, proactive instead of reactive in film. As much as you could possibly think of, explain and talk to people. But I liked working with Tom. He's really sweet. And you get to know people on a personal level. And I think that part is important because it makes them feel more safe and secure to want to be on an independent film. Because they've been on these big SAG sets. I think he was telling me he makes 20K from True Lies on residuals a month.
wow.
I know.
Wow.
Can you
Right?
imagine? Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
I can't either. I can't either.
I can't imagine a penny yet of residuals. I'm gonna start at the bottom.
I get 3 cents residual from my last side project a long time ago.
But that's the thing though. So I think you have to put yourself out there and know it's hard. I haven't got any agents. If you get an agent, you're locked into them. I think you have one per state. You could be your own agent and do your own hustle bustle, but they're not going to be able. Agents usually get the upcoming feature film or commercials, so they send it to you so you can audition. So I don't have that opportunity unless someone likes me and they message me on my email saying, hey, I'd like you to do this, or you don't have to audition. We just want you on the set. And then I talk shop, like, when is it? How much is it? Do you get per diems? Are you covering my hotel, my flight? I don't want a Motel 6. You gotta be very, no bed bugs, no thank you. And no Spirit, Southwest would be perfect. I don't care if I'm in the last in the seat. Something that's direct is nice too. If they're making you go hop on 2 different planes, you're like, oh my goodness. I'm done.
Yeah, I was SAG eligible like over 20 years ago, but back then when you're a SAG, you can't do anything else. And I had like friends that had non-unions and stuff like that, and I was like, I can't afford SAG and go FICO. I can't do that. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna go SAG. So I never went SAG. And then, Chris, are you eating something?
No, no. I'm having some.
And then and then and then the projects start coming in, and then I did a SAG, and then I was like, oh, they paid me pretty decent, and then I'm still getting residuals of 3 cents every month now.
I get no residuals. And even when they do bump me on these things, I was like, sure, you're going to edit me out. I know how I was on Obliterated, a TV series, and I thought they were going to cancel for a second season, but I guess they're going to pick it up. And they had me change different looks. So I had blonde hair and then I had a
Oh.
dark hair, completely different. And I said, okay, how's this? And like, who are you? I was like, you know darn well who this is. And my voice didn't change. I said, you told me to change, and they couldn't believe it. Got aggravated. The whole crew over like, oh my gosh, you look so different. I was like, but they had me at night, 10 in the morning, no, 10 at night to like 9, 10 in the morning. Those night ones are killer. And the last day there, I threw off my wig at like 3 in the morning. I'm like, I'm done. I know, I did. I didn't care. I was like, I'm done.
Oh.
Off. I'm done. Because it was background. It wasn't anything big. And then I had my shoes on, something flat. My hair's all in a bun. They're like, the AD was nice. He goes, oh, we would like you to be in this scene. I'm like, yeah.
We'll see.
Change anything. But I did make the scene. I couldn't
There
believe
you
it.
go.
Out, and it's just me saying, oh my gosh, what happened? So I have a very small dialogue scene. I didn't believe it though, because I was like, no, I know how background is. I don't believe you. You're lying.
It made it.
This will make it. Yeah, it did make it. But I was like,
Oh,
hey, I've heard this one before, but you get to know the people on the crew side too. A lot of them work different, different different productions. All the crew, like the ADs and the PAs and the makeup and the wardrobe, they work different LA productions that come here. So they're like, hey, how's it go? They follow, so they know me, but the production doesn't. So that part is hard if I could ever get in and actually keeps like lines in, because even if you get paid and you have your lines, they could cut it out. I'd rather not get paid, get my lines in there for the love of goodness. So there's just, all these, I know you said you started a while ago. I've only known 5 years of it. I didn't ever think I'd be in showbiz. I didn't care. My law enforcement, military background, post office it's just so different. So when I went into this, people were like, oh, you have a look. So I was like, what do you mean look?
Hollywood, look.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what they meant. So I was very taken back. I was like, excuse me. And then I had no talent. So I went back to, I was like, what are you saying about this look now? Like, like, what are you saying? But looks only go so far, and you have to have good charisma and good integrity. And building that craft is hard, because to be a good actress, you really have to have that character development and understand the emotions behind it and be able to deliver it on cue. And I was very, very by the books, talking like this, and they're like, Nicole,
Oh.
emotion. They're like, what? You want to know what's in here? Yeah, it's held in a long time. Like, are you sure you got this? So, yeah, it's like woo-wee. But I'm glad that I do have the opportunities, like I said, to connect to you and others, and be able to let down my defenses. Like, you just have to be stripped away from everything that you've known and conditioned to know, like, and throw it out the door and pretty much try to start over from scratch. In showbiz it's just different, and different than any job I ever had, and so predictable. One day I could be PA, next day I'm a main producer, I'm starring, or I'm background, and I'm okay to be any of it. I had people say, oh, you can't do background now that you're in this spot now. I said, I can do whatever I want to do. You're not going to tell me. I was like, I'm going to be background, but background on bigger sets helps me market the independent films. Hey, do you want to be part of this? Do you want a role with dialogue, that gets distribution, and that helps build your career and your work. You have to be able to show you have character range, unless you want to be like Hector. Hector. This one might be different for him though. He might feel like out of his comfort zone, because he's used to playing the bad guy, Hector, gangster.
Playing his life.
He isn't. the bad guy. I'm the bad guy pushing him to be in a circumstance where he is executing people on the spot. I'm pushing him to be away. I'm whispering his ear. I'm coercing him.
You're
And
the
so,
devil on his shoulder.
yeah, everywhere. I'm on him all the way. Like everywhere. I'm shaking his world. He thought he was gaining so he I think his is with he has morals and values, I feel, and he's put in this predicament now being partnered up with a woman, a queen that she's queens don't do anything. Like I gave him a scenario chase, but this is recorded, so I have to do it off. I would like to have a shock effect when we execute people. I kind of threw something out there, and I think that would be wonderful. But it's gut wrenching if it's done right. When you're getting pulled in, if you're that mother that gets her family executed for what? Because she had values, she stood up for herself, didn't believe that what was happening is legit. So if you go against the crown, you will be the example, and everybody around you will have to suffer. And so I like his scenes. I think he has a really great opportunity to bring this to life in a correct way, but it's so much work in that pre-production. I'm hoping he didn't bite off more than he could chew, but he does have forces to help him raise the funds. He has to raise those funds. If you don't, then you get shortchanged a little bit, and you
Yeah.
don't. If you want to, he goes, go big or go home. I said, no, you stay home. You
You
don't come here.
stay home and go big.
No. If you don't go big or go home because they have to go home, then no, you don't. Just stay home. If you don't feel you can be there, don't even come. Just stay there, and we'll be okay. Because some people are liabilities, like Noel was saying. There's a lot of risk versus rewards in showbiz, so you got to outweigh. And some people don't get along on set. I had it happen. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, I had it happen on Desert Fiends too. There's main talents that have been in it 30 years that were headbutting.
wow.
I was away, and I'm getting a text like, you need to be there right now. I was like, oh my gosh, do I have to be every second? You have to be there.
Babysitting.
Can't leave. I stepped aside into their view so they didn't see each other at least.
Oh
And I
my
dealt
goodness.
with it after the scenes. I said, these scenes you protect your film at all cost, finish the scenes, and we'll deal with it afterwards. And probably just wouldn't recommend hiring them ever to be on the same day ever again. But things happen like that, and you can't everybody's going to get along. A lot of people have their own issues. Maybe they're under the substance abuse, which makes it very hard. But nobody got hurt on our set, so that's good. They might have headbuttings with their personalities, but each one's different. So unless you ran a production, I'm always interested. Even though people have worked on other people's sets, big sets like big SAG sets, somebody finally did their non-union set. Like, I've been on a big set. I said, you haven't been on your own set though. You've been on somebody else's with them doing everything. You had one job. One job is not 10 jobs. So sometimes you're gonna have to juggle it all and keep it together with little sleep, and know that each day gets closer to it being done. Even though people cry and they're sad, I had people crying on set. I'm
No.
so happy. I'm so happy it was
Oh,
over. I was like, they're like, I'm so depressed it's over. I said, I'm not. I'm good. I need to like unwind from this, because they're just have one job. One job. And if you can't do one job, like I might come down a little bit hard, like, what's going on? Why can't you do this one job? Like, what? And no, if you're ever doing your own set, PA work is the most important. They show up first, set up the tables, the chairs, the coffee, the garbage cans, the food, the drinks, the ice, have the paperwork ready for people to sign in to do the release forms. If you don't have that sign up and people are coming in, you don't have an area for holding for them, you're in trouble. It's already chaotic. It's going to be a chaotic day. Everybody's going to be putting stuff everywhere and not knowing where to go. One spot, keep everybody, and keep that coffee flowing. If you don't have that coffee flowing, woo-wee, especially the crew, you don't have at least one hot meal, you're gonna have some angry people. You don't want that. So, yeah, is there any other questions or anything? I think
there's more. There's more. There's more.
Well, I was going to ask you if you are a horror movie fan and if you enjoy being in horror films, but I think you pretty well answered that earlier with all the descriptions of the worms and the stab, all that. So my question, I guess, is how much Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, right.
How much?
So are horror films, is that your favorite genre, perhaps, maybe, or how much do you enjoy working with that genre?
So I grew up watching, my very first one was Poltergeist.
Oh,
And I got to
Oh,
meet Oliver Robbins. We hired him. He was the boy in Poltergeist that got eaten by the tree. And he was in Skates of Hell, which was really cool because Sean used the dialogue. He doesn't like static. I love those little Easter eggs that talents used from other films that made it pretty big. I like horror. I like horror comedy. I always like The Evil Dead 2.
yes,
I like what is that? That Drag Me to Hell.
yeah,
I just like the I like the spoofiness because it's so lighthearted. Because my life, our lives are pretty get complicated and very stressful. So when there's something that's real stress, I don't we don't need to put it in there. You could be as campy and as cheesy as you want. It's horror comedy. It's just how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be over the top,
right.
blood and gore and
Well,
mm.
speaking of dark horror comedy, have you seen one of my favorites, which is Reanimator
I haven't.
from, I think, 1986? I think you should see that one. You should check that one out.
Yeah.
It is a classic dark horror film. I think you would love that.
I haven't seen that, but I'm more in the 80s. So Waxworks 1 and 2.
This is from the
Oh, in the
80s. Yeah.
80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the storyline based?
it's well, Herbert West is the I guess you'd call him a mad scientist type who has worked with a scientist who has developed a uh, a serum that brings people back from the dead as zombies, and it's just very graphic and gory and lots of dark humor, and uh, it's based on an H.P. Lovecraft story, actually. But I think you'd like that one. And so excuse me.
Do
What's
people's
that?
hearts fall off? They
She
go.
wants blood gut gore.
Oh, I think you will absolutely love this one. If from what I'm hearing from you, you'll love this one.
I think
But
Reanimator. Yeah.
yeah, but I definitely want to see Clown Motel Three Ways to Hell. So where can I see this? I want to
That's a
watch it
good
tonight.
question. Joseph Kelly, you would have to connect to Joseph Kelly to see
Okay.
how far along he is with hopefully getting distribution or at least putting it out there himself. So if you can't
Oh,
get distribution from someone, you can go through Film Hub yourself. You
Oh, it's
can.
post-production.
So he's done. I saw the final cut. We did it at the MegaCon through a film festival through Indie Horror Junkie through Rick Danford. Um, I'm glad I got to see it. I didn't know how it was going to turn out because our shots were like one and done. I didn't get to redo any shots. So you never know how it's going to be when it's so quickly done. I'm like, wait a minute. But it turned out good. People were happy with their kills and people like
okay.
Saber Sparkles. I had somebody connect me in Canada and she goes, Nicole, I have the green hair and I'm finding like people are wanting to dress like her
Aww,
yet. So
cosplay.
yeah, people like her. And she's fun and she's playful, but she'll get you. She doesn't play nice with anybody. If you want to meet her, make her quicker, go say hi to Saber Sparkles. If she appears at any conventions, I usually have a big taser. Saber Sparkles actually has a big taser. It's a really big one too. And I got people are hard like, oh, I was like, but it gets people on their toes or away
That's
from
funny.
their booth if you don't want them there.
Are there any screenshots of Saber Sparkles on IMDb or on your
Yes.
Facebook page? Maybe. Okay, I'll check those out.
Yeah, I have some reels I put together of her, Zach Vasquez was one of my victims and he's in Florida and Corey Thompson and Lance Wellner. I'm trying to think there's five, Jason Walsh was supposed to be, then he got killed by somebody else. Poor Jason. But Guillermo Ramos, so I'm glad they had fun and I'm glad they enjoyed it. Like I said, I know Joe Kelly wanted me back at the Clown Motel, which I got to go there. It was fun. There's like a graveyard and you get to read on the heads, the graveyard stones, how people die. Very interesting.
Yes.
The only thing that's hard with her is being in the desert with the dust and the contacts.
Oh,
It's pretty wicked. And I worked with Joe Castro for special effects and he didn't get a drop of blood on me. I have like 5 wigs. I'm ready to get nothing got on me. I was like,
oh no.
I was like, wait a minute, nothing. I was so shocked over it. Joe Castro, he was very quick to make sure that, you want to see those effects. I like working with Joe Castro, but I also like working with Eric Yoder because Eric Yoder uses chocolate blood. So when that gets
Oh.
best in character though, because I was like, the first time I ever had that was on Desert Fiends where Janine gets her implant ripped out. And then he tried to squeeze it to have it pop, but it didn't. So we did a retake and he did it over my face, but he held it there where I almost suffocated. I was like, I was trying to tap him out.
Oh,
No, he had it over my whole face. He couldn't see because he only has, his name's Zach Vasquez. His first time I worked with, he had only a spy hole. And I'm trying to tap him out. I'm like, you know, like, oh, she's really doing good. Oh, man. In real life. But when they squirted that blood for that scene, I could taste the chocolate. I stay in character. I can be like, oh,
That's so good.
I'm like,
oh.
I'm like gurgling it. You know, like, oh, that was so good. I was like choking on it. Like, oh. You don't know, you know, like how hard it is to die sometimes. You could really die though from these scenes. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, let's back up a little. You said there's a movie where an implant gets ripped out.
My
Breast implant.
Oh, okay. That
The
was my
fake.
next question. I assume. Okay,
And-
so
and-
what's
and-
this movie?
You got the
What is-
implant too? Okay,
I know I gave it to so this my son also got his head knocked off by a mutant. He was only 11. You know, kids never
Oh.
die in movies that much. He was a
Right.
bad kid though. People I think clapped that he was gone.
Oh,
They're like,
oh.
he's a really bad kid. I was like, so there I liked Desert Fiends was the first one. That's the first time we worked with Tom Arnold in it. That's the first film I put together as a main producer. And we had like 7 locations, I believe, maybe 5. I can't
Wow.
we had a lot of locations in 2 weeks. We had all the weather elements. So we had snow in Red Rock, flooding where people were stranded, like they couldn't, like the road flooded, high winds at Nelson's Ghost Town. It was like all elements like we had to go through with this weather. It was very nuts and bipolar. But Desert Fiends was the first. We had a lot. Bloody Disgusting did an article. I'm so surprised. They were so nice to put my name in there because I like they had all these other good names people knew, and I was like, thank you, Bloody Disgusting. And then Skate to Hell was different, harder. I was working full time job and maintaining a family and getting all those locations and everything else. I felt like I was on autopilot, but I like blood and gore. I like creative kills and Janine, she Desert Fiends 2's coming out next month through Despop Entertainment again. So far we like them. They do the sponsoring. I didn't really like my first distribution. Came after them a little bit. I'm like, they charge us like $30K for advertising, but nothing came from it.
Oh.
I started coming for them a little bit, and it's really hard because I think they got bought out by Shout. I'm gonna blast it. Gravitas Ventures, I would never do business with. So you got to be really careful when you sign a contract with distribution. Make sure that in the contract it says they have to release it within a year, which they did. 30K is a little too high. They made us pay our own EOA, which is title insurance, which was $5,500. Pay for a poster, which is $1,000. Altogether for that distribution, usually you don't have to pay anything. They take it out of other things. So they made us dish out $13,000 for Desert Fiends. They didn't market anything, showed nothing. So
Wow.
and then they weren't showing all the platforms or what the money made. So I would never, 100%. I'm surprised they're not getting sued. They should be. They should be
Wow.
class action lawsuit. I think they did people really dirty. I did post and I tagged them in the email with shouting like, "Oh no, you found the right person. You don't need to include them." I was like, "I will include everybody." I don't think people know when people are doing dirty. I will include everybody. I will give you a chance to clear yourself, and then I will mark it to Kingdom Come because people have to know. I think people are afraid to expose people because they feel like they're going to get blacklisted. I said, "What are you talking about? There's a million productions. Why would you feel that you're going to get blessed by people that are not credible?"
Yeah.
And they're not just doing it to one person. They're probably doing it to so many people throughout the years. It's that nobody talks about it. And that's a problem. But I do. I talk about everything. Obviously, I'm like, what do you
Every
want to
day.
know? Every day, I'm like,
Every day.
unless I get hushed on something. I got hushed on something, so I can't bring up something. Yeah, I made an agreement for something, so I'm hushed in one area.
NDA.
No, my own personal life. But I was like,
Oh.
I said, if you do it too much, though, you poke me, I might just unhush myself. So let's be nice people.
So, which project out of all the projects you've done is your favorite so far?
Oh, my favorite. I liked
Oh,
favorite character or as a producer.
all of them, like as a producer or as an actor,
I,
or that came out just in general?
Well,
I
yeah.
like Saber Sparkles. She was my favorite role, and I had free range
As
of
an actress?
as an actress. And then I think Kat from Skate to Hell, because Sean wanted me to have Cindy Lochner look, so I had the free range to have red hair, blue contacts, nose ring, like
Ooh,
a
yeah.
lot. You want that. And as a producer, I think Desert Fiends, because it was my first one, as a main producer, was my favorite in the aspect that it flowed pretty well. Sean gave the opportunity to work with him, but he took a chance with me coming out from San Diego to come here. I said, I can't believe you trusted me, Sean. I would never trust you. And we went to Disney, and he's like, his mom met me, and she's like, Nicole,
Aw.
much. And I don't think it's so hard, that trust thing. Once you defy it, like if there's a couple of things you have to look out for somebody. I didn't gain anything either. I'm just letting you know, I worked with Sean for free. I got paid
Wow.
nothing on any of these 4 films. So the lost media, though, he finally gave me 5 points. Doesn't mean you're going to get anything. Well,
Oh,
I did. So I want people to know I did everything for free. I did not earn a dime of anything. I won't do that again, though. I wanted to show that he could work with somebody that wasn't trying to take from him. And he had other things on the back burner that still haven't come out. I wasn't going to hold him back in any way. Free range. I just wanted a little bit of creativity on my scenes, like get my boob ripped out or my son's head knocked off. But I never wanted to overtake anything. I wanted to show that it can get done. And we pushed him. Okay, I pushed him for distribution for Desert Fiends. He didn't want to do it. I said, if you don't, I'll never work with you again. And he did it. Kevin Gregg, that is my ex-husband now, he ended up doing all the paperwork. He's very good at that. I needed somebody that knows how to, do the LLCs, download all the release forms. We had like 302 altogether. You
wow.
have all for distribution. If you're on a set and they never did release forms, if they don't have an LLC, they don't have film insurance, distribution won't pick them up.
Right.
So I'm glad you're aware that now everybody's aware of that. So there's a lot of protocols and stuff to be aware of. If someone say if I'm talking to you and I'm like, oh, how did you get so lucky? Can't you just hook me up? No, why are you? I have a lot of people project like that, or they try to
Protocols.
sabotage, or if you don't want to work with somebody and I deny access to them. Once you don't give them access to you, some people get real nasty and they
Yes.
lie. I say, you can lie all you want, but I'm going to be 47. My background, my outside of here is pretty solid. My showbiz, I've not ever hurt anybody anyway. Yes, I might stick up for myself when I have to. And everybody should, because you have to have healthy boundaries. I think people get mad because they need you for something.
Did you say you are 40, close to 47?
No.
Is it?
No.
I thought you said. I
Yes,
was
she
gonna
did.
say you
She
look.
did.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm glad you did say it, and I didn't just say something you didn't say. But anyway,
You said it. I think
Nope.
I was going to
Nope.
take that back.
Nope.
well, no. Oh, but no. But it was going to be followed by, I cannot believe that you are actually 47. You absolutely don't
Look
look.
amazing, right? That's
No,
what
I
I
thought
said.
you were much
I've
much
been
younger
waiting.
than.
I'm constantly patting down the creases.
Yeah, you
So
look
that's what I'm
much.
saying, though. Thank
That's
you.
what. Yeah, right.
Oh, no,
definitely.
I don't want to hold you up from sending a nice compliment, though. Go ahead. You can finish.
Oh no, I was saying that's why I was so
She's
serious
in
about
shape
it.
too. She got muscles,
Well, right, I can
everything.
tell.
I feel
That's
like
why I
a
was.
I'm healthy. I'm healthy looking. I'm not like emaciated Hollywood skin.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why my tone was so serious, and
I'm 40, I'm gonna be
it's because
47,
I couldn't.
this year, 47, and like I said, I had military background, law enforcement background. I personally maintained my family 20 years. Sometimes things happen, though. I am newly single, which is weird, a whole new area, not on my account. I did a lot of volunteer work. So like I said, 47 years of existence. So when someone tries to come at me and they have nothing to show outside their world or in the showbiz, I'm like, you are going to be up past your bedtime. I said, this mom took you into that bed. I hope you enjoy it. So I'm very straightforward, though, and I mean what I say and I say what I mean, and I don't think I over exaggerate at all. I know how people are very elaborate and they're all smoking me. No, I'm very like, they're like, are you having fun? I'm like, no. Not having fun on set because it's so much work. And everybody's like, well, if you don't have fun, you shouldn't do it. That's a lie. There's responsibilities that you have to do. People,
Right.
what are you talking about? That's bad advice. So, you want to be around people that get it, that can step up. Now, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, oh, can you help me? I said, well, have you haven't never done anything? I said, that means I have to do my work on top of your work. I'm not doing that. Or they want me to like finance something. And I was like, first of all, I don't do that. I bring other people in that are investors or people that want to put money in for themselves. And that's a whole new other area, but I'm not just, I said, why would I give you money? Show me your responsibilities. What do you do outside? Find out what they do outside of showbiz. I would love to know. Show me what you're saying is true. The talk, fine. I can show you, you can look me up, you can hang out at my house, you can see how I am for the day or two, or wherever you feel comfortable. As long as you leave eventually though, like, you're like, it's time. You do all the different types of hints. Maybe even that song, it's closing time, all these hints.
Curfew.
Yeah, it's time. But I think starting in my 40s, I had other backgrounds. So I think that helped me be more efficient in learning different areas and knowing there's different approaches to the showbiz. But I never dreamed about, being an actress or producer or any of that stuff. I only became a producer because someone screwed me over on a set. Someone screwed me over, and that pushed me to work with Sean. And I told Sean, I said, if everybody that buys a perk, they get under their perk. All the money goes towards the film, nothing else. And that was my agreement, or I wouldn't have done it. So, he was very abiding by making sure everything was done accordingly. We had our spreadsheet and everything with all our expenses. We never, ever so far did finishing funds for any four of our films. Wherever we had, we utilized. So that's the thing too, when they're starting to do finishing funds and things that aren't adding up, or, that's you don't want to be, I know, hey, if you're recovering, that's fine. But if you are actively on drugs or substance abuse or whatever you're doing, how are you going to be able to trust somebody to fully make awareness, good choices for your production? So
Right.
you want somebody that is responsible. And yes, they might not be fun. Might not be fun. I'm responsible. I'm a safe one. Not usually fun. I usually, I see
On-set mom.
not just the onset mom, but just being really vigilant and seeing how people are interacting. I mean, you can't be everywhere on point 100% because you'll burn yourself out every day, but enough where people, if they're having a problem, they come to you right away. Let's come to me. Let's make sure this doesn't snowball. If you have any confusion or if there's a problem with somebody, can at least stay away, just get these things done. I think reputation is very important to me. It is to me. Good credibility is super important. So I won't compromise my morals or my standards. So I'm very particular as well when it comes to that. Like Noel G has his and I have mine. And I think people, when they get to know you, either you can be an asset because you're gonna have to work so hard. If you just start showbiz and nobody knows you, you have nothing outside, showbiz is different. Can you market? Can you have good credibility? Do you show up and do the job you said you can do? Can you do these things? Are you a liability or risk, or are you an asset? And if you're an asset, all you can do is work so hard they can't help but notice. You're gonna have to work so hard, endless hard. Nothing is gonna be handed to you. Something gets handed to you. What's the catch? There's no casting couch here either. I have not had anybody hit on me like that.
Yet.
I will make an example. I have not had anybody do it. Just saying. So don't start. There will be
Yes.
somebody will be exposed.
After this podcast, you're gonna have some people hit on you.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Don't do anything stupid. But if you can do things the right way and be a paid actor, eventually, I mean, yeah, people have to pay their dues constantly, and sometimes people do buy perks so they can have that experience. How else are you going to get there? If you don't have a certain look that people like to bring you and bump you up, or the charisma, and you can memorize all you want too. If you're boring, nobody cares. A lot of us have ADHD. We are all over
the place.
all over the place. That's where I am. So if I drink, and I haven't though, but I had 2 now each day. I am all over the place. My compartments are all open and I am all over crazy, but I'm getting things done. It's like, I pre-do things. Like when I worked with Sean, he was like, oh, he worked with somebody else before and she was such a procrastinator. And then he's like, oh, Nicole, you're doing things so ahead of time. I was like, because there's always something else you have to do. Get it done and show you could do it. Hopefully Chase doesn't want me to have too much of an accent. He wants me Irish. I don't know. I would have to figure that one out. accent and not blinking. Oh man, does he want me just to, you know what?
Yeah, doll.
Yeah, maybe I just be a doll and just
A
move.
doll, Irish doll.
Maybe we'll just do an AI part. You don't even know anymore. You just install that AI for those parts. Thank you so much. I'll give you permission. But yeah, you have to. Sometimes it's so impossible. I was working with Neil Breen. Neil Breen, people know him. It was my first year and a half into a year and a half. And it's funny because behind the scenes, like it was a green screen, but he gave me just the dialogue right there and then that I had to memorize. He wouldn't let me see the script. He's very secretive. I didn't even know where I was walking. And he's like, keep walking. I said, I can't. It's stop.
Keep walking.
When he's trying to help me go down these stairs that were angled upright. And he goes, oh, you're not doing it right. I go, can you please show me? And then he's like, oh my gosh, I almost killed myself in the. I said, I know. I see. I made it look easier than what it was. People don't know until they put themselves in it. And then they're like, oh, okay, let's change that. Said, that or I'm going to die down these fake stairs. So showbiz can be dangerous in different ways. They don't know. Stunts. I did stunt training. I did arm burns, high falls. Fighting techniques. So you have to be careful. Like people want me to do something with this other female. And she goes, well, I did theater stunts. I go, that doesn't sound like film stunts. I go, let me figure out something. I said, if you want to pretend to pull my hair, I have control of it. It's never that other person. Do a little bit of training. If you don't feel safe, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't want to get really hurt or something else happen. I was like, no, it looks like it's supposed to hurt. It doesn't hurt. It's not supposed to hurt at all. And you're supposed to exaggerate your arm. So like real punching and real, like, no, they want you to pull back and they want you to slam, it's the angles of it. And when they're telling you, I'm all over the place now, when you're doing, I see a lot of people drop their energy level. So if they're like reset back to 1 and someone's getting tired, I let them know. I said, your energy just dropped. They're not going to know. They're in their repetition now. They've been doing it so long. So be that person that helps them out. Hey, pick that up a little bit. Don't be more intense. That's not my job though. That's he's on the director. I don't know. They look like crap. And that's the worst thing. So if you see something like a bad actor, I'm blaming it on the director and the cinematographer for not getting enough footage to make it better. So if I say action to you, you take like 2 beats, 1, 2, and you do dialogue so you have enough time to cut away from stuff. But if they're not directing you like, oh, more intense or happier or less movement, how are you going to know? You're just going to base it off of what you think. And hopefully it looks good on this thing. And when it doesn't, you're like, oh my goodness.
I thought I was great because you didn't say anything.
But then everybody tears you apart.
Yeah.
I was the worst. I had over 1 million views from that Neil Breen. And people were like, is that you? I was like, no.
No.
Looks like me though. Like, that's not you. So that's why now it's Nicole Butler Vegas, but before I had Nicole Vegas or I had Nicole Butler, so they never put it
together. Oh my God.
It's mashed in pretty well. So do you have any other questions before I go lay outside in my 105-degree weather?
Well, he has 5 random questions for you, and then
it's
yes. Okay.
Sorry.
You're good.
This should be pretty quick.
That's a lie in production. That's 10.
Okay, are you an early bird or a night owl?
I am an early bird. I get up at usually 5 in the morning. Not by choice. Just happened. I'm like, why?
Where is your favorite place to go for a vacation?
Oh, the favorite place. I like Newport Beach where you get to ride your car on the ferry across. I don't know. Is my favorite.
Okay.
In the Caribbean.
Okay. What is your favorite animal to have for a pet?
None.
None. I think you have a dog, don't you?
Do I have the dog, or is it
I saw a video of you recently walking one.
And the ex,
her ex.
Oh.
And the turtles, and that's not all mine.
Oh.
For all that. No, that's all my responsibility, though.
Oh, okay.
Animals do like me, though. I just came across ones where a wild chipmunk ate on my hand, and the first came to me in the mountain, and I pet it. So animals do come to me, but I'm not an animal person. They do like to gravitate towards me, though.
They know you're not an animal person. That's why.
Yeah, maybe I'm just like a little pet. I'm like, okay, that was the affection for the whole year now. Little pet. But I like animals. I just don't want to take care of animals.
Okay.
A lot of responsibility. You have kids.
I know.
What is your favorite dessert?
Oh, there's a lot of those. Can I have everything?
Sure, go ahead, as many as you like.
Name three.
Dessert over dinner first, the dessert thing. So I like the hot fudge sundaes with the extra hot fudge, and I like the blizzards with the cookie dough with extra cookie dough. And I like the gummy bears. I like eating the gummy bears a lot. And I like cookies crumble. I'm
Oh,
dirty. So, say if we all went out to eat somewhere and the waiter goes, "Oh, what would you like for dessert?" And I ordered this dessert. And nobody else wants dessert at the table, but somehow the waiter comes with like extra spoons. I say, "Oh no,
that's much.
that's not, they had their chance." I don't share the dessert, so just know that I don't share my dessert.
Okay.
And that is all for the day. Thank you so much for your time. We're sorry we dragged you an extra hour long on this call.
I hope I gave a lot of information, and I really want people to know that there are good people and there's good projects, and it takes a lot. It's not just show up first, say yes, show up, and show that you can learn, and you can redirect. You're able to get redirected by a director if you're an actor. Learn it all, do it all. Do something out of your comfort zone, because when we get older, I definitely get set in my ways. I get called stubborn a lot. Everybody calls it like, "Oh,
I know. I
nah."
hear it.
It's like I said, 7 o'clock is like, I'm already in pajamas I know I'm a winner. 7 o'clock, I am in my pajamas. I am done for the day. I get up at 5 a.m. and I clean my house in the morning, maybe I haven't gone to the gym yet. I did do some workouts, so a little toning. People are like, "Where are you? Aren't you going to go to the gym?" I was like, "Did at the house." I didn't know. If I get this job though, police veteran, I will be gone for 2 months in Arkansas for police training, which isn't bad, but I got to run. You're going to see me at the treadmill, and people are going to be like,
Live.
do my sit-ups. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna be in the mindset of being physically fit again. And I have that interview on Wednesday, so hopefully I'm not like this though. There's no sparkly eye. I ripped my nails off. I gotta get a manicure. This is too Vegas. This is too some people. So basic hair's gonna be pulled back in a bun, very, very formal, and I will talk more like this. Not fun. More.
Widow's oath.
A widow's oath, yes.
Widow's oath. Don't blink.
Widow's oath. There's ways to be a part of it, even though the campaign's done. He'll do another campaign. There's PayPal. He'll write you something really good. I think it's going to be a great opportunity. Check out A Widow's Oath through Chase Dudley, Samantha Dudley. I have no more water. I'm getting thirsty here too. But just thank you both, and let me know how I can help you or connect you to people that I do know in showbiz as well.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you.
Bye.
Clicking the link, lean in, your grin, 2 mics, 1 vibe. All right, let's dive.